We start with breaking news in Russellville, where one person is dead after an hours-long standoff near the campus of Arkansas Tech.
Jordan Betts is joining us live this morning from the scene. Jordan, what can you tell us there as you're at that apartment complex this morning?
Yeah, I actually just got a walkthrough, and you can follow me. You can see the doors completely gone. That's actually one of the doors that leads right into this kitchen right here. And the woman that lives here, she's lived here for about 2 years, is just distraught, as you can imagine. As we continue, there are windows that are broken, more doors. This window isn't broken, but you can tell this one completely shattered right here. It was just astonishing. So this broke out about 6:45 last night. Everyone here on this block was evacuated when a bail bondsman came to really arrest a man that had some felony warrants against him. That's when he shot at the bail bondsman. And when the police arrived, additional shots came from inside the apartment. He barricaded himself here, and Russellville police said that's when they set a perimeter around this whole entire area, because Arkansas Tech is just less than a half a mile from here. A lot of these are student complexes. At around 2:15, that's finally when the man came out. He started shooting at police, and that's when the shooting broke out, and the 37-year-old man did die here at the scene. His woman tells me he had only been living here at this apartment for less than a week. He actually gave her a false name, and she was here just before the shooting started. She said a bailsman knocked on her door. She said, "Hey, is this person?" She said yes, and she asked if it was all right to leave. She left, and when she came back, it was something she just couldn't imagine. She had 2 of her rescue dogs here. They're actually her therapy dogs. They are at an animal shelter right now. She expects to get them soon. As you can imagine, this is just a scene she didn't imagine to see this Friday morning. And as of right now, we don't believe the public is in danger, but we'll continue to update you with any new information we get. Live in Russellville, Jordan Betts, back to you.
Hey, Jordan, you said that the woman, she had only been living with this man for about a week. Did she know him prior? Were they friends, or did she kind of meet him through elsewhere, somewhere else?
No, she didn't. She actually didn't know this guy. He gave her a false name, and so when she found out his actual name, she was kind of in shock because she didn't know who they were talking about until they showed her a picture. So she hadn't known this guy very long. We actually just walked through his whole apartment and his room. As you can imagine, she's just wanting to get her life back into order.
Yeah, you know, Pat and I are looking at the damage right now. What it turns out is he came out of his apartment, but it looks like there's a lot of damage. And, you know, looking at it, is this something that it appears that he did on his own, breaking the windows and the door?
I don't know. I knew that they did talk about that he did shoot out of the apartments. I don't know if that's that window that we saw, but I did see a bullet hole in the bail bondsman's truck that we believe, and he left a little while ago because the scene is completely cleared now. So I don't know if this is something he did, but I can definitely talk to the owner and ask.
Okay.
All right, Jordan, thanks so much for that update. Definitely a story we will continue to follow this morning. Also, breaking news overnight, authorities charged the suspect in the Maryland newspaper office shooting. 38-year-old Jared Ramos faces 5 counts of first-degree murder. He will be arraigned this morning. We have learned he sued the Capital Gazette for defamation in 2012. It was later dismissed, though. Police say he also had smoke grenades. Right now, police are working to find out who is sending new threats to the newspaper on social media. New this morning, though, police have identified the 5 people who were shot and killed inside that newsroom. You can see them right here. 2 others are still recovering. And to another big story, this time out of Omaha, a tough loss for the Diamond Hogs.
Yeah, they fell to the Oregon State Beavers last night in the final game of the College World Series Finals.
I hate to see it be over, you know, because I love this team. This team is we're family.
An amazing run for the Diamond Hogs. Of course, they fell just short of a national championship while up in Omaha. Unfortunately, that's been the story of this entire series. Coming up later, we're going to have a reaction from Coach Van Horn and the players. Natalie's joining us now, and we're talking about the heat of today, Nat.
That's right. Heat is on again today. There's 70s across the area, so we warmed up a few degrees since that last reading. We're now at 76 in Little Rock, 76 Jacksonville. We had a little bit of some cooler air move through central eastern Arkansas with a complex of thunderstorms that headed its way through overnight. Could see a shower storm popping up this afternoon, too. 82 Mount Ida, 82 temperature in Mena. Again, those mid to upper 70s to the east. Heat index values likely soaring between 105 to 110 this afternoon, and then in that excessive heat warning area, that's what you see in pink, could be looking at those heat index values greater than 110 this afternoon. So please be careful out there. Want to make sure maybe you hit the pool this afternoon. That's a good way to stay cool. We'll be looking at upper 90s. Can't rule out a stray thunderstorm by later this afternoon, evening either. So keep an eye out on radar for later today. And again, stay cool this afternoon. I'm going to have another look at that forecast, let you know how long this heat will last coming up.
All right, thanks a lot, Natalie. Check out your traffic this morning. Here's a live look on the RDOT camera looking at I-30 westbound there. The traffic is moving along. Just a few moments ago, it was really backed up and not moving fast at all. But you can still see iDrive Arkansas showing some slow volume on 30 westbound from North Little Rock into Little Rock. Also some slow traffic there on 630 eastbound. Of course, that's coming from the Big Rock interchange and eastward into downtown Little Rock this morning. So we're going to switch over and look at 630 eastbound. They're on the RDOT camera network from John Barrow Road, and a lot of cars there in the eastbound, downtown bound traffic, but at least it is moving along. Suzanne?
There his van was slowly driving down Highway 5, and then he circled back and came back up again. And so at that point, I knew this man was hunting me like a lion hunts a gazelle.
Well, you just heard from her. Sarah Casasola described to us this past weekend about what she called an attempted abduction in Cabot, but now her story has changed, and Cabot police tell us she admitted to making the whole thing up. Surveillance footage taken from the Exxon gas station where she says it happened didn't match up with her original story. As a result, police arrested her for filing a false police report and disorderly conduct.
For the first time, we're getting a glimpse of at an ex-probation officer's interview with Little County detectives after getting busted for patronizing a prostitute. You might remember the arrest of Mark Brooke last year. It came after complaints surfaced from actual female probationers who said Brooke would meet them at hotels for sex to take care of their community service. Now here's a look at his interview with detectives right after the prostitution sting.
To sum it up, you thought you guys were going over there to have sex.
So we're going to have a lap dance.
Have a lap dance.
For sure, lap dance.
For sure, lap dance and possibly sex.
Maybe, possibly.
Mark Brooke pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of patronizing a prostitute and completed 3 months of probation. He remains employed by the city of Ward, where his father is the mayor, but not employed as a probation officer. A group of Little Rock rappers speaking out nearly 1 year after a shooting at Power Ultra Lounge, which injured more than 24 people.
Many are now protesting the way the city handled rap concerts coming to the city in the aftermath of that shooting. Fox 16 Charmaine Nero spoke to a few hip-hop artists in Little Rock who want to see changes when it comes to their music.
Witness, you really don't want that stuff you after. Only way I take a piece of the pie is if they out the platter.
When ideas start to hit.
But when confined like fine wine, my mind got stronger over time.
Next, the formation of words that fit.
I mean, it's a lot of talent here, a lot of talent, a lot of unique sounds here.
Lyrical freestyles.
Right, so she ain't get any. She didn't know my operation was gonna bring in plenty.
Leave these Little Rock rappers.
Girl to shop at Diamond Yo Boutique. I want diamonds in my mouth cause talk is cheap.
Surrounded by sounds.
Still support a G. I just laugh at people that don't mess with me.
You hear the beats, real nice beats, you know what I'm saying? It just brings it out of you.
Hip-hop music isn't just a hobby for these local rappers.
I'm great, and my mama ain't raised no fool. I always ate what's on my plate.
It's a lifestyle. Dante Brown, known by his stage name TGC, has been a hip-hop artist in Little Rock for more than 2 decades.
I remember performing at Denison Park every Sunday. Back then, it was beautiful. We had Official One and Dirty Jack Lex Ball, and like it was a lot of major artists that dealt with local artists then.
An underground scene uniting artists during a time when violence hit the streets hard.
It's a language that was spoken sometimes most times for us in underserved communities, so it always was looked at and shunned upon.
More than 2 decades later, the hip-hop that united a community
I'm in the trap with the Draco. I don't need nobody to hold down the spot for me.
Restricted after gunfire erupted inside Power Ultra Lounge last July, leaving 25 people shot.
That was definitely tragic. It was unfortunate, but I think it's always, that just allowed the feelings for hip-hop to come to the forefront.
Months after, clubs started canceling concerts. Backlash from city officials and police putting the pressure on acts coming into town.
They canceled Moneybagg Yo. They canceled Lil Jacquees, his walkthrough.
Rappers like Freddie Miller, fed up with what they call a war on hip-hop, took their rap over violence protest to the steps of City Hall.
Who wants to set up a show and put all this money up for something and then it gets canceled like the day before or a couple days before? So I can understand why some artists would be like, nah, we'd just rather not even go to that market.
Even though no one died in the nightclub shooting, these rappers believe they are casualties of a crime they didn't commit.
When that stuff happened, you know, a lot of shows are getting canceled because we planned on, you know, being there. I do photos, you know, so I planned on taking photos of the, you know, the major rap artists, you know, post them on my Instagram for more exposure for myself and my team.
Now this group has a strong message.
Don't judge a book by its cover, neither the author. Hip-hop is not just gangster rap or violent rap. You have consciousness. You have, I know people who do gospel rap.
And for these lyrical lyricists, the fight doesn't stop when the song ends.
People just have to take the time to give an ear to it and actually support what's coming out.
Reporting there, since last year, a few big-name rappers have performed in the city.
The performers did say it's a step in the right direction.
Coming up, we are